Hey Connor, everybody, goes through little stretches where, maybe things aren't going the way they would like them to. When that happens to you, what sorts of areas of your game do you look to focus on and explore to try and get different results?
Well, I think you just got to make things simple for yourself. Everyone just needs to, and again, it sounds cliche. Everything's kind of cliche, but just make it simple. Get pucks to the net, get bodies to the net. They're playing solid. Give them a lot of credit. They've had some good goaltending. They're defending well. They're surrounding pucks well. So, they're making it hard on us. But um, everyone goes through funks like this. It happened to us last year. I think we, lost to Winnipeg 1-0 and went into Minnesota and lost 3-0. So, these things can happen, and we work our way out of it.
There was a lot of build-up into this series, just given where the Leafs were in the standings and the way you guys have been playing. How do you see your group reacting to the disappointment of these first couple of losses? And are you seeing the things that you need to see to know that there's a good chance you'll, have a better chance for a better result tomorrow?
Well, I think both games kind of went exactly as they probably script them. As well as you script any game. If you're them, getting up too early and 2 or 3 early and kind of just holding on to that. When you're playing up 2-0 or 3-0, it's a pretty easy game you got to play. So, I think focusing on our start, not to say that it's been an issue, but finding a way to limit their chances as well. Finding a way to get the first one would obviously be big for us, but if not, it's not the end of the world. So, you know, games have kind of gone perfectly for them, and they've gotten some bounces, and they've played well, and maybe we haven't been at our best, but we haven't gotten many bounces either. So, not to make an excuse for ourselves, obviously, but give them a lot of credit. They're playing well, and it's a big one for us tomorrow night.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
Connor, when you play a team a couple of times in a row like Toronto, they're watching your power play. Your power play obviously focuses around you getting a lot of speed coming through up the ice and through the neutral zone. Are they trying to take that away on your power play?
I'm not sure if that's a question for me or them, but we obviously have our things that we look for on a power play, and getting in the zone, and we haven't been doing a great job at it. A lot of that's on me. A lot of that's on other things as well. So, we've worked on it today, and hope for a better result tomorrow on the power play. It's got to be a big part of our offense here.
You did start well last night. It was one of those ones where Hutchison made the saves and you didn't get the lead. From the sounds of things, every team, once they're falling behind 1 or 2 goals, it's an uphill battle for them. You've been pretty good in the first period of games this year, leading the league with goals. That hasn't been their last 2 games. Is that something you obviously have to work on? Regardless of how many chances you get, you still have to get the first goal somehow and make them chase.
Yeah, of course. I quite liked our start last night. I think at one point shots were 7-0 or something like that, and we had some good looks, some real good looks, and credit to their goalie. He stood in there and made some big saves for him, and they make a couple of nice plays, and all of a sudden we're down 2. And like you said, when you're chasing a game, it's easy to look bad and look like you're out of sorts, but guys are trying to sometimes too hard to do too much, and forget to make things simple. That's what they've been doing. Yeah.
Gene Principe, Sportsnet. You there, Gene?
Sorry, Connor, I don't know if you can hear me now.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a little quiet. If you could speak up.
Okay, sure. I was just wondering, under the unique circumstances of 2 and 3 game series this season, do you watch as much video on the opponent as you used to, or because you're playing them consecutively, you spend kind of less time watching and I guess more time living it against these teams?
Yeah, you definitely watch. And look for certain things. I think. Excuse me, sorry. yeah, you definitely watch more video.
Jason Gregor, TSN 1260.
Connor, it's only 2 games, and I know listening to Darnell last night, and I'm sure you feel the same. You know, Sky hasn't fallen by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, it's early March. Obviously, your goal is to keep building. And is this a good lesson to kind of learn? That you mentioned earlier, you give Toronto credit and how they've checked, and I don't know if they're checking kind of like maybe you would in the playoffs, right, where everything's tighter. Is this something that you look back on maybe later and it's a good thing to go through, and how do you expect to adapt to what they've been doing defensively tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, it's you never want to go through stretches like this. You know, and again, I can't even really call it a stretch. You know, we're playing a good team, and they're playing well, and you know, they've won 2 and we lost 2. So ultimately, we got to find a way to get ourselves a win tomorrow. You know, however we have to do that. You know, I think, like I said, they're checking well. We got to get pucks to the net. Got to bring bodies to the net. Have to get our power play going. Those types of things will obviously help.
There was a little animosity at the end of the last game, and your team historically the last few years, when there is that heightened energy you seem to play better as a team. And I know that, you know, this is unique because there's 3-game series, that never happened. Do you think maybe it carries over? Does your team need to have that anger that you had at the end of the game at the start of the game tomorrow?
Yeah, I mean, we need to play with a little more emotion, I think. You know, we've kind of been stale the last 2 games. You know, both, you know, I guess physically and I guess vocally, kind of on the bench and stuff like that. I think it's been a little bit quieter than it's been in previous games. So bringing that emotion back is never a bad thing.
Jackie Spiegel, Sporting News.
Hey Connor, we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the sports world shutting down due to the pandemic. I was just wondering if you can recall kind of what was going through your mind when everything started happening this year ago.
Yeah, obviously a weird night. We were playing Winnipeg, and you know, we were coming in on the intermissions and seeing, you know, the NBA shut down, you know, games get canceled, and you know, everyone's kind of out there, and I remember it being just a weird night, a weird game. Everyone was kind of just, you know, what's going to happen here, and you know, and then we go home and there's plans to come to the rink the next day, and then obviously you wake up and you know, everyone's got text saying don't come to the rink, and you know, we got a two week pause, it was called, I think. So obviously it's turned out to be a little bit more than that, but yeah, obviously a weird night. Glad to be back playing though.
Steve Simmons.
Connor, how strange is it to lose 2 at home, be shut out in both games, Austin not playing, Freddie Anderson not playing?
Was the question, how weird is it?
Well, strange. I mean, you're not facing the Leafs when they're missing their best player and their best goalie. That's part of their team. It's not the rest.
Yeah, they're obviously missing some key pieces. You know, but I think it speaks to their depth, their coaching, and obviously the players themselves. I think you know, they've played well. I don't know what else. I don't know what else you want me to say. I think, like you said, they're missing a couple of key pieces, but you know, they're still a good team, obviously.
Ryan Schog, TSN.
Well, last one for me, Connor, just on you know, the atmosphere and the attitude around the group, and the need to sort of keep things up, because you guys in the big picture have played some really good hockey lately, and not to let a couple of results you're not happy with, you know, weigh on you.
Well, I think you need to grab it quickly. I think you know, like you said, we've done some good things the last month, played some good hockey, kind of built ourselves back into a good spot, and you want to grab it quickly. I think you can't let it slide too long, and that starts tomorrow night, obviously.
Final question, Jack Michael, 6:30 Ched.
Connor, you've kind of alluded to it, so you might have already answered it, but just this narrative that always goes along with even 2 losses in a row, what's wrong? In pro sports, is it sometimes the other team is very good and they want to win just as badly as you do?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously everyone wants to win every night, you know, and they, again, they've played well. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but we probably haven't been playing our best. Obviously, just a little bit off here and there. Feels like we're maybe a little separated at times. You know, they seem to have 5 around the puck, kind of everywhere. So I think maybe bringing some bodies into the fight and surrounding the puck as well. You know, they've done a good job checking, and you know, we obviously haven't found a way to score yet. With that being said, I think we can maybe do a little bit better job checking ourselves and limiting their chances as well.